Hello, everyone. This is Zia Yusuf from VMware, and welcome to another episode, if you will, of the Ecosystem Reimagined. I'm super excited today to welcome Nicole Dezen, who is the Chief Partner Officer here at Microsoft. As many of you will know, we have a long-standing history between VMware and Microsoft. We'll get into that a little bit later. But Nicole, welcome. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Zia, thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
So Nicole, let's just dive into it. Last year, I think you got appointed as Chief Partner Officer. I'll tell you a joke about that after your response here, but great role. Feels like a pretty broad perspective. Was it Chief Partner Officer before, or was this kind of a new framing?
Yeah, it's really exciting. You know, I am Microsoft's first ever Chief Partner Officer, and this is intended to reflect the breadth, scope, and scale of our partner ecosystem. You know, partners are so key to Microsoft's success. In our organization, our role and our mission is to build and sell Microsoft AI, cloud applications, services, and devices with partners so that we can empower people and organizations to achieve more. My org has the amazing privilege of engaging across all customer segments, industries, and solution areas with our partners to deliver business value to customers through Microsoft's platform. As you know well from working with us so closely, Microsoft has always been a partner-led company, and we succeed when our partners and customers succeed. And we really felt that it was important to have an organizational structure that provided that sort of breadth and support. And, you know, on a personal note, I'm super honored to have this opportunity to lead this org, and I get to work with the best ecosystem on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say, I did this job at SAP. I was a senior partner at BCG, and whenever we needed to benchmark best-in-class partner organizations and programs, Microsoft honestly came at the top of that list almost every time. So there's just such a rich history of excellence in this. Why at this moment in time? What was there something that changed because I've always viewed Microsoft very much as a partner-led and partner-friendly organization. Was there one change or a step change in how you and the leadership team looked at this moment in time?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the compliment. It is really important for us to focus on partner excellence across the board. And there wasn't just one thing. It was leader transition. I was transitioning into the role. And anytime you have the change, I think it's a great moment to sort of step back and say, what do we stand for? What's important to us? And how do we want partners to feel? And so I hope that, you know, as our partners look at this, and you can give me feedback, Zia, because you're a partner too, but, you know, I want our partners to feel represented in the work that we do. I want all partner types to be able to see themselves in my title and in the way that our organization operates.
Fantastic. Many years ago when I was doing this role at SAP, I remember in a board meeting, at that point, it was becoming more and more fashionable to be chief something. So chief commercial officer, chief this officer. And I asked our CEO, can I be the chief ecosystem officer? And his first response was, yeah, sure, that's fine. Literally 3 seconds later, he said, no, that spells CEO and that's my job. So I never got to become chief ecosystem officer.
I do like that title though. That's a good one.
No, it's a good one. Nicole, I know you, I think, are coming from the sales side of the house, and you have kind of a rich experience there, both on the technical sales and so on. Talk a little bit about how the partners that you have, and obviously the different types of partners, and how the Microsoft teams come together really to serve the customers. We all try and do this, but I think there's some unique, interesting ways in how you guys are set up. Would love your perspective on that, especially given your background.
Yeah, thank you. And absolutely, everything is about driving customer impact. The truth of what we do is illustrated in customers realizing value. That's how our partners succeed. It's certainly how Microsoft succeeds as well. And at Microsoft, we get to do that through the breadth, the diversity, and reach of our partner ecosystem. And every single one of us plays a really pivotal role, particularly in this AI-focused world. I have several examples I can share here. At our Microsoft Inspire conference in July, we announced MSEM for partners. MSEM, M-C-E-M, is Microsoft's customer engagement methodology. You know, love our acronyms at Microsoft. So it's a newer one for our partners. MSEM is how we connect sales, support, industry solutions delivery, and partners across 5 sales stages to deliver more value for customers together. We use MSEM across our business already at Microsoft. And I think there's huge value add when we can have common language and strategies with our partners to deliver value for our shared customers. And, this is really about how we go to market with partners. One of the other things that we talked about at Inspire is that we mapped all of our initiatives and incentives by solution play, by customer segment, by partner type, and by MSEM stage. And this was really intended to help our partners understand what we are prioritizing and how to utilize our resources, our tools, and our assets. A good illustration here is migration. In our fiscal 24, which we started in July, I am tripling our investments in migration. Yeah. I think that's a pretty clear signal to our partners that it's a very high priority. And this way, our partners all have access to the skills, the readiness, the assets and tools and investments, everything they need to get the job done for the customer.
All too often, I've noticed that, especially in a partner kind of discussion, people tend to focus too much on my slice versus your slice, right? I got 6%, you got 6.5%, we both need to get 6%. And it really is about the size of the proverbial size of the pie, right? It's how do you go, 100% of zero is still zero. So it's kind of expanding beyond that. And I think that's something Microsoft honestly has done a great job because of the breadth of the portfolio of what you do is continue to expand the opportunities for partners.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the goal, right? Finding new opportunities to add value to customers, discovering new technology that helps us do that. I think AI is a fantastic example of that, but there's so many more. And, I love the concept of increasing TAM and helping our partners really capitalize on that.
Awesome. And so we have to get to AI. No conversation is complete without that, but especially for Microsoft and the landmark deal you've done with obviously OpenAI and what you're doing on the generative AI side. So maybe 2 pieces of this. One is what was the compelling logic for you at this moment in time? And I know Microsoft had already been invested in OpenAI. What was the vision there from a Microsoft strategy perspective? So that's one piece of it. And then as you look at partners, how should a variety of different types of partners think about participating and supporting you in that Gen AI journey?
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. Microsoft has been investing in AI capability for years. It's core to the work that we do across Microsoft Research, and it's been in evolution and in development in our products for quite some time. I think the thing that changed certainly is as we started to roll out more and more capability with OpenAI, it really unlocked so much new customer demand, so many use cases. And so, we made some decisions to accelerate rolling out in some of our products, but this is absolutely a multi-year journey for us. And frankly, it's still really early days, which is quite exciting. Through my lens of partner, there's just massive opportunity. And so one of the things we did at our Inspire conference is we announced the Microsoft AI Cloud Partner Program. This is really the next generation of our partner program. As you may remember, in October of last year, we introduced the Microsoft Cloud Partner Program. And that was an evolution for us. But this is really transformational. Just as AI is infused across Microsoft's product portfolio, we're now infusing AI and wiring it throughout our program. And it's really designed to show partners how we're investing in them, helping them to capitalize on the big economic opportunities that Microsoft AI capability presents. This new program, it includes so many new AI-focused offerings and benefits. We've got a really awesome AI transformation playbook that many of our partners contributed to help people understand how to get started, how to accelerate, some great best practices and tips and tricks. I can say that. We've got some new specializations. We have an era of AI marketing campaign in a box, security co-pilot, design advisory council, and just so much more. I could go on for this. As you might remember at Inspire, we announced about 50 new things, and AI was really core to that. We also, as I said, we are tripling our investment in migration because migration is really foundational to experiencing the full capabilities of AI. And we introduced a new $100 million investment in that we call Azure Innovate, which is all about taking advantage of AI. And really, it's about meeting customers where they are.
Yeah, and again, congratulations on that piece of it, because I see AI being infused into everything that you do as a company. It's not just a technology play. It has to kind of feed into the services piece of it. It feeds into the customer success and the post-sale piece of it, which is how our customers should be using it as well, right? In a much more holistic manner.
And that's exactly right. And there's a role for every partner type in this, whether you want to leverage our co-pilots, build your own co-pilots, deliver services and solution. There's just so much opportunity. And I would encourage anybody out there watching and listening to this to start playing with it yourself. As you start to experience some of the solutions and capability, the use cases almost off the page.
So if I take Nicole, the flip side of this, right? So all this technology, all this automation, there's obviously, some concerns about jobs and all of that. So that's the macroeconomic piece. But from an individual perspective, as you think about creativity and you think about kind of the human spirit and what you bring to that, what's your perspective? Like as some of these processes get replaced by AI, enhanced by AI, what's the role of creativity, not just in the partner world, but just what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I find it quite empowering, actually. I think it's really amazing to be able to have technology that frees us from some of the more mundane things, that allows us to use our brains and our headspace for things that really require our own personal energy and intention. And I think we have to be thoughtful about how we roll this out. But I will just say, my very first job was selling long distance service to businesses. That is something that no longer exists anymore before the technology. I think I did okay. I really appreciate the role that technology plays in the world. It's one of the reasons I love my job, is because I get to take that and I get to scale it out across the entirety of our partner ecosystem and across the entirety of Microsoft's products. But I'm inspired by it.
And I think that's going to be, as you look at potentially specific functions, copywriting, this, that, I mean, there's a whole range of analysis being done. I think that's going to be an interesting thing to evolve, is how people's job. My belief is AI enhances what you're doing. And in certain situations, it's going to change it dramatically. So to shift gears a little bit, maybe a quick comment on our partnership. Obviously, we have a rich history. We're doing a lot of stuff on the Azure side, other pieces of the puzzle as well. Any perspective, any aspirations and hopes on our continuing that journey?
Well, first, I'm so thankful for the strong partnership between our two companies. I think we have deep collaboration. We have very thoughtful discussions about the product, services, solutions that our joint customers need. And I think we make each other better through the partnership. I certainly have a vision and aspiration for us doing more together, as I know you do too. We've talked about this. So I just see, tremendous potential in the partnership and ways that we can jointly serve customer needs.
I agree. I think there's honestly the proverbial we haven't even scratched the surface, if you will.
Yes.
With much more to do on the go-to-market side, and our customers are demanding that. So look forward to that piece of it. Switching gears a little bit, Nicole, the last kind of 2-3 years have been kind of exciting from so many different dimensions. Right? Obviously, the pandemic, the economic situation, war out in Europe and so on. And then all the changes in technology companies and the structural changes. How have you managed through this period? Have you had to build up and strengthen certain leadership muscle that you didn't know you needed before, you didn't know you had? Talk a little bit about that personal journey, if you could.
Yeah, I think every leader has probably had to develop some new skills, certainly through, and all of the things that you talked about, pandemic, macroeconomic challenges, war, like any other muscle that we have to develop. Leadership capability is critical, and it doesn't stay still. Because our teams don't stay still. And so, for me, it's one of the things I love about my role is I have this very diverse, broad organization, and I personally challenge myself to, do my best for them. I'm a big proponent of open communication. I love what Brene Brown says, clear is kind. And I appreciate it when people are direct with me. And so I also strive to be direct with people. I don't like surprises. I am a naturally curious person. And I think that's helped me a lot as we've navigated change. And I certainly don't have all the answers. I learned through talking to other people, whether it's people in my organization, colleagues like yourself. And I think that helps me certainly make better decisions when I've really heard multiple perspectives and I have a way of being thoughtful and informed. As you know, Microsoft we are big believers in the concept of growth mindset. Yep. One of my favorite parts of that amazing book, Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck, is that you don't know something yet. And I think it's such a great tool to help all of us, regardless of our career stage or tenure, remember that there's always more to learn. There are new things to do. And we get the best of one another by doing that.
So you mentioned growth mindset, you mentioned curiosity. And if you intersect that with remote work, what's your perspective on that? And what's the current thinking in Microsoft? Is it bringing people back 3 days a week? And is there pressure to bring more back? Or just, you mentioned growth mindset.
Yeah.
Do you think that can really be encouraged, fostered in a remote environment, or do people need to be together?
It's a very active discussion inside our company. In fact, I sit on the company's hybrid work advisory council. And so, obviously Microsoft has a suite of products and solutions that enable hybrid through Teams and other services we have. And we also are humans. And so we certainly all can appreciate the benefits of the times that we need to be in person together. And so I do think hybrid is the language that I love and the way to think about it, because I don't think this is a one size fits all.
Right.
It's very situational. I think there are times where in person is just so valuable and you just get that accelerant. And then there are times where it's actually quite convenient to, be working from home or working from somewhere. And if I'm on a day where I am wall-to-wall Teams calls, that works really well for me.
Yeah, that I think hybrid is the right phrasing, and it's actually been pretty impressive. I've known Kathleen Hogan, your CHR, for many years, and just the thought leadership that has come out from her and the rest of your leadership team. I do mean this sincerely, on how to think about it, how people's learning is impacted, and how to manage that in this hybrid environment has been super helpful. So just to kind of finish this piece off with a couple of fun questions, if I could, Nicole. So if you were to start a company today, what would you do? And it doesn't have to be tech; it could be anything.
It would definitely be tech. I love it. I get so much energy from it, and I love the pace and speed that we operate in, and the way that we can solve problems for people. I definitely think it would have something in the sphere of AI and enabling small businesses. I think small businesses are an untapped market right now in this space. Small businesses, I personally believe are the future. I love the scrappiness, the entrepreneurial spirit. And so I'd love to be in a place where I can help them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think small, I actually haven't thought about that. I think small businesses potentially have even more to gain from the step change in this AI capability. You're absolutely right. That'd be cool. Next question: is there a future technology that you would personally love to have that doesn't exist, or I don't know, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, 50 years down the road?
Oh gosh, if there is a future technology that could really ensure that I get my workouts in, gosh, I'd sign up for that any day of the week.
Awesome. Yeah, it's interesting. Most of that stuff has been when I've asked that question, it's been on a personal level. The last one was interesting about teleportation. And final question there, Nicole, if you were to pick one superpower, what would it be?
Solving global problems.
That's a nice one. I would wish for you to have that. So that's a good one to have. Nicole, this has been an awesome conversation. Thank you for your leadership, not just Microsoft, but also to being a champion between VMware and Microsoft. It's important to have strong, creative, forward-looking leaders in these roles. I think gone are the days of, alliances being the place where you're not good at sales, we don't know what to do with you, let's put you into alliances. Looking at ecosystem partnerships as an important kind of a leg in the capability of companies is important, and we're bringing in awesome leaders into those roles. So appreciate that. Congratulations on your success, and thank you for taking some time out today.
Thank you so much for your kind words, and thanks for having me here today. This was really fun.
Awesome. Thank you.